knows that I am a huge Han Solo, Princess Leia fan. I have the books, I've written my own fan fiction, but they're the reason why I am a Star Wars fan. Shocking, right? No, I'm really not a Mark Hamill fan. I'm really not much into Luke. When I was a kid in the 70s, quite a bit actually older than Ms. Revis. Basically, Mark Hamill looked like a variation of every boy my sister Joan brought home, and I made fun of them, okay? So, apparently, on Valentine's Day, StarWars.com put an interview with Beth Revis about her new novel, The Princess and the Scoundrel. And one of the lines in that is she basically thinks that this is going to explain how Han and Leia were able to navigate their relationship. Did she even see the sequel trilogy where they basically were destroyed? That whole idea. I mean, I can't. Where are these? Look, she's 40 years old. She's not a Generation Xer. She obviously thinks that TFA was romantic. You know, Shakespeare wrote that, right? Okay? I'm sure Shakespeare's writing this one too. And trust me, I'm looking at this and I read the interview and I'm like, well, maybe I'll give it a chance. Then I saw her and went, okay, she's married to a man, a straight white man. That's a good, hey man, that's a good, signal. And now, when I saw that, if you go on my community page, you'll see what she said. I'm like, did she even see the movie? Does she even understand romance? Does she even get it? No, it's like, look, here's the deal. They're hiring these writers who don't know anything about relationships and how to put them in a novel or anything else. I'm not talking about Elsa and Rick, Scarlett and Rhett. When the EU was there, if this catastrophic woman, I don't want to look at her health records. Holy shit. If this woman knew what she was talking about, and she doesn't, I mean, we all know that, she'd be dangerous. Let me explain. She obviously hasn't read the EU. She honestly thinks Han and Leia went and had it easy. They didn't, okay? First off, they didn't get married until later, like long after the Battle of Endor. That's just the way that happened, and it worked, okay? It worked. Trust me. You don't just go, oh, let's get married. I'm sure Miss Revis knows that. I'm sure Miss Revis understands that 'cause she's married, all right? But she doesn't get this relationship. All right, from what I could tell, Han and Leia were married like literally on Endor. So now wait a minute, they're changing canon? Is that what this is? Because I swear to God, in the comic books, they were married on Endor. Okay, so we're Pablo Hidalgo's idea of keeping the canon canon and continuity straight. Shut down again. Ha ha ha. I was gonna go upstairs and take a shower too. I'm loving every minute of this. This is truly hilarious. This piece of shit doesn't come out till August, by the way. But we will probably hear more of it. So you've got this ginormous cow writing this book about something she doesn't know. Okay. She probably, when she said she had to watch the original trilogy again, she probably had never seen it before. You know, I love it when these people jump into something and you know it's not their thing. Okay? You know it's not their thing. She's got her hair done up. There's a picture of her with her hair done up in the Leia buns. That's such a fucking phony thing. That's such a fucking poser. A freaking poser. Okay? Look. Beth, we know it wasn't easy. We had the EU. You didn't have to come in and write anything. Okay? I mean, first off, the rest of the authors are trash. Well, yeah, I mean, you know, obviously she didn't remember it. I mean, I could. I can quote verbatim everything Leia says to Han and everything he says to her from The Empire Strikes Back. And I can quote everything she said in A New Hope and Return of the Jedi. Okay, here's the thing. When you look at them, these are two people that are meant to be together, period, full stop. And that is how you must approach it. Okay, get the relevant bullshit out of there. This is a fairy tale. And also, the fact, mind you, some of our parents actually stayed together till they died. Okay? All right. This is going to be a fucking disaster. Not that I liked the courtship of Princess Leia, because it made Leia look like a ninny. But this is going to make her look like a bitch, because if you look at this woman and you realize that she probably hadn't watched the movie since the first time she'd seen it, if she'd even seen it before, she'd probably been contracted to do it and said, oh goody, I need the money, here you go. I mean, that's probably what happened. This is more shit. Now, I'm going to say this. She doesn't have anything woke on her Twitter account. She doesn't have anything political, which is good. She doesn't have anything that would piss you off except for what she said. I mean, did she even see the sequel trilogy? All right? Did she? Everyone looks around and goes, no, she didn't. Okay? This is a direct attack from the story group and Jennifer Heddle, who does the publishing for Disney Star Wars. She's another one I'd probably fire. I have a list of people that have not done their jobs well. That would be gone. And, you know, not my business of where they end up. But this is, all right, when you think about it and you're looking at this, this is something that was okayed by her and the story group in Kennedy. Okay, this is probably gonna suck. I have never read or even nothing that Revis has put out there has been something I'm even interested in. Maybe somebody else has read her stuff and can chime in. I'm not sure, but here's how you write Han and Leia. You got to give them time. All right. Han is going through a lot personally with all the carbonite shit. Leia is there as support, but there's also outside things. The fact that probably people don't want them together, like the Alderaanian Council. I mean, there should be, if they're smart, a contingent of Alderaanian expats looking to use her as the last surviving member of the House of Organa to and she's a princess. How dare they, how dare she make her own decisions on who she should marry? All right, that's another one. Here's a second one. Leia's got a problem with who she really is. Okay, does this Beth Rivas ever approach that? Because the writer of Tatooine Ghosted, when you read that book, Han and Leia are like, okay, we're married and we'll just adopt. There are plenty of kids that need parents, families. So that's what they're planning on until she gets a hold of Shmi's tablet journal entries that were meant for her father. And then Leia discovers who Anakin really was. Okay? And this is probably where Beth won't follow because she's an idiot. I'm already deciding don't read this book. Okay, don't read it anyway, but don't read this book. Han encourages Leia to watch and listen to what Shmi is saying to her son. Okay, Han is the one that's giving Leia a comfort zone to where she can actually find out more about Anakin, whether she wanted to or not. Okay. Cool. Are we going to get that? No. So, is Leia going to be a little bit kind of reserved about children? Probably not. Because obviously, in the sequel trilogy, she sure as hell wasn't there, and look what happened. Exactly what Leia, that we should be getting, was worried about in the EU. Okay? And Han telling her, no one is born evil. Okay, now I don't know if I agree with that. I do believe in the bad seed. I've seen it in my own family. However, that is a very wise thing for him to say. Don't you all think? Yes. Okay, let's go on. He says that. And Leia accepts Anakin. She forgives him. That's a big fucking deal for her. If you remember, Trusa Bakura, when he shows up in his ghost form, she didn't want nothing to do with him. And the biggest line she had was, I'm not worried about what you did to me, but I'll never forgive you. I could forgive you what you did to me, but I will never forgive what you did to Han. That is a big deal right now. And it should be looked on, okay? That's like if my father did something shitty to my husband, came back in a ghost form, okay? Any wife worth their salt would be going and very unaccepting about this bullshit that daddy brought on the family, okay? That's what Leia has to contend with. Okay, are we going to see that? Or is she, like in Claudia Gray's book and everything else, trying to unaccepting of Anakin? Unaccepting of Anakin. Unaccepting of who she is. Trying to fucking hide it. That is so immature. When you read the EU, Leia, she's basically growing up in front of us. Accepting who she is. Accepting where she came from. Accepting who her father was. That's the mark of a grown-up, mature woman. Not the one in dipshit Claudia Oink's novel, what was that called? Bloodline. Okay? Written by an immature juvenile woman who's more concerned about, what people do with their private parts than she is actually writing good Star Wars. I hope she watches me. Okay? Now, are we going to get the Leia that has to come to an acceptance of who Anakin is? who is not afraid of people finding out, who knows the risks if people find out. I doubt it. Is this woman a mature enough novelist to put that in there? And that, because look, Hans is not the only one in this that has gone through a lot of bad issues with life and everything else. Leia is too, okay? Leia is too, all right? And if we don't get that hesitancy, not about marrying Han, but about children, of about, Han knows who she is. Han knows who her father is. Hey, Troy, that's the writer of the book, The Princess and the Scoundrel, Beth Revis. I mean, I didn't, and that's what we're talking about. But if we get Leia not hesitant, not thinking things carefully through, okay, not really searching herself, then we're not gonna get it. It's not gonna be a good story, okay? We have to have a story where she has to come and accept a lot of things and be unafraid of what it is. Okay, that is Leia in a nutshell. That is Leia after Endor. Okay. Oh, I don't know. She's not. She's, she doesn't, like I said, Troy, she doesn't have any woke shit on her Twitter. She doesn't seem to be a raving degenerate like Claudia Gray and Justina Ireland and G.K. Johnston and the rest of that sordid, fetid mess. But I don't know. I want a maturing princess. I do not want a princess falling headlong into something. Nor do I want Han to be able to do that. That doesn't make any sense. First off, he's the one that's going to want to right away. All right, that, you got to understand. Han Solo, if they had done it right, has always wanted that. And it's really, oh goody, Doomcock posted another, fuck. He's not listening to anybody. Okay, Well, that could be, Maze. That could be. My concern is, are we going to get a maturing Han Solo? Are we going to get a guy who who knows that without that girl he would be dead? Okay? No one was going to come to get him. All right? And it's not because there were people that everybody in the galaxy hated him. It's because there was just no one there. Okay? No one gutsy enough and ballsy enough to do what she did. Okay? And put herself through what she did for him. That has got to be something that is thought of on his side. Okay? Leia has to know that she is the one person in the world that keeps his head on straight. Okay? And another thing. Leia didn't fall in love with Han because he was, straight-laced and, had everything shined and came from a good home. I think he is too, Troy. All right? He's not, she's not. She loves his rough edges. I mean, there has to be a place in this novel where Leia says to somebody, he treats me like I'm a normal woman, not an object. He always has. He doesn't. She's got an entire science fiction library she's written. Something about the universe or something. I don't, you know. So, okay. Um, and I see that's the thing is I've never seen this woman. Uh, I've never seen this woman write. She's never written anything else for Star Wars, so we don't have a thing to balance it out. It's not like Claudia Gray with Princess Leia, and then Bloodline. You know, immature dumpster fire that it was, but but let's go back to what I was talking about. Leia is attracted to him because of his rough edges, because he doesn't. I'll talk about Sam Max in a minute, and then I gotta go. He does. She doesn't want to be treated like an object. He puts her up on the pedestal, right? But as the woman he loves, not and his princess, which, in my opinion, means something completely different than it means to anybody else. Okay, all right, and that has to be approached. Okay, we're talking about two people. I've got a scene in my stuff that I'm working on. I'm going back to finish it up, where Riken is sitting there and he's thinking about Han and Leia, and he's like, war throws people together who in other circumstances would never meet. All right, first off, that's a thing. That has to be addressed. Second of all, Leia has to make a statement to people saying, I don't like being treated like I'm a thing or a pawn. Okay? My thing, I'd have taken the courtship of Princess Leia, and instead of having Leia be a ninny, take off with Han and they go off on an adventure. They run away. Okay? They run away because she doesn't want to be treated like she doesn't have a mind of her own. And that she's just a piece on a dejarik board. That would be great. But we're not going to get that here. We're not. Okay? That's what I don't like about this. Now, was she dragged in by Pablo Hidalgo? I don't know. All right? Like I said when I was live before, it's very strange, but Matt Martin is in Los Angeles, which is the epicenter of what's going on with Star Wars now. He's not in San Francisco. I don't know. I can't remember if he was ever in San Francisco, but I thought the story group was all supposed to be together too. So yeah, there's all sorts of weird shit going on. Now, Sam Max. Quit KOTOR. All right. A grand says she was fired. I think Ben's right. Why do I say that? The woman comes off as a nasty fucking bitch. Okay? She just does. Not nice. Doesn't like men, obviously. There you go. Anyway, I wanted to put this out there. If Beth Revis watches this, hey, look, I don't trust you. These are my two favorite characters. And oh, by the way, I was there when the movie started, so I know a hell of a lot more about this than you do. So you better not fuck this up, okay? I better not hear you wussified Solo or turn him into some what Daniel Jose Older did, okay? In Last Shot, which was, should be burned, every copy of it, because it's trash, okay? I better not see any hints of drunk deadbeat dad Han Solo. I better not see it. I better see the Han Solo emerging that we got in the EU. An evolving character, not receding. Okay, same thing with Leia. I want to see her learning to accept who she is and mature enough to understand that while it's on the down low, if it ever came out, she'd have to deal with it. And she's old enough, and she's wise enough and old enough and brave enough to live with it. Okay? And Han, you know, I don't care who your father is. He didn't raise you. All right? That's an important thing. There are a lot of kids out. All right, I'll tell you a story. Well, no, that's not the right one. There are plenty of kids out there who have stepfathers whose fathers have died. Okay? Think about it. It's not like my friend Shelly's mom, who's an old gunnery sergeant's wife. She said, and I quote, "It's not in the laying, it's in the staying." Okay? Doesn't matter who fucked you. Who's going to help you raise that boy? That girl. Okay? All right? That's the point I'm trying to make with all this. All right? And Han, he has to be grown up enough to assume responsibility. All right? And again, I'm going to say this. To me, when I look at this, I'm like, this almost looks like, because they're contradicting it looks like they're contradicting their so-called canon. Now, I don't know. Maybe the whole wedding invitation bullshit is just whatever. But it just seems like there's something different about this. I mean, if anybody has read her books, tell me what kind of a writer she is. Okay? So her name is Beth Rivas. I know a lot of people who read books. Maybe they've run into her stuff before and read it. Let me know. Steph signing out. I'll see you around the galaxy.